Hello and welcome to another Overlord lore video, and today we will take a look at a rather odd question, namely if Einsolgon will fight Cthulhu or not. But before we are going to take a look at this topic, let's take a look at my Patreons and thank them for supporting this channel. Furthermore, I already made a video about Eins and why he might fight or even ally with Great Cthulhu, or the Overlord equivalent of her almost 2 years ago. Link to it in the description. And I really urge you to read it in order to know what I'm even talking about. Now, why I'm even asking this question? Well, during the talk between Platinum Dragonlord and Rigid Bears Carew, where Platinum informs Rigid that an evil he once has defeated has now risen again. A clear reference to his fight against Shalltear. Rigid asks for further help, and Platinum suggests asking a girl in a sunken city for help, who is much more likely to help than, let's say, some of the other Dragonlords. And given the fact that Platinum Dragonlord has fought Shalltear in, or rather as his armor, and lost, having to withdraw the shell before Shalltear tears it apart, Platinum knows what kind of power might be required to actually defeat Shalltear and the like of her. But nonetheless, he still suggested to ask the girl in the sunken city for help, thus revealing that Platinum judges her to be willing to help against an absolute powerhouse. So either Platinum wants Rigid dead, for the same reason he wants Azut Eindragon, seizing some ancient powerful artifact of his, which is highly unlikely given that Platinum knows his wild magic ring is now in the hands of Gazev Stronov. At least that is what he believes. Or, and this is my theory, Platinum wants Rigid to send word to the sunken city, in order to make the person in it fight and defeat Shalltear, possibly while he battles Eins, or Albedo. And I find the wording of it really, and I mean really interesting. Platinum said, and I quote,
"But I personally feel that it would be better to wake up she who sleeps in the bottommost level of the city which floats upon the sea for help. You'd have better chances of success."
Also, we are given this information, and I quote here, "She's waiting in the lands of dreams." Now, a dreamer sleeping in a floating or sunken city in its deepest layer is at this point just a different way of spelling Cthulhu. He is literally called the Dreamer of Earlier, a sunken city. And the city in and of itself sounds a lot like a guild base to me, and given that Platinum is sending Rigid to ask her, the Dreamer Girl, for help, that is, in order to defeat Shalltear, it makes it sound that she has actually defeated players in the past and possibly conquered their guild base, hence why she is now sleeping in the deepest layer of the sunken city. And all of this ties into a question O'Kill asked, namely, what do you think will happen between the Kingdom of Darkness and the Dragon Kingdom? And I for one believe that at least part of the response Platinum has for Eins and the rest of his guild is Cthulhu. She might have helped against other players in the past, and she might be capable of taking on other players or NPCs as powerful as Shalltear and win. So I believe that the Dragon Kingdom, namely Platinum Dragonlord, via Rigid Bears Carew, has already sent word to this mysterious girl sleeping in the sunken city to contain or kill Shalltear, or indeed Einsolgon. And Platinum is known for such indirect actions. He made Azut Einra name drop and insult Rufus, instead of personally inform the Theocracy that he disavows them taking action during the war between the Sorcerer Kingdom and Riestais. Because keep in mind, because both the Sorcerer Kingdom of Einsolgon and the Slain Theocracy are player, or at the very least NPC-controlled, nations. And given the fact that Platinum can't tell if Eins is an NPC or not, interpreting the insult to Rufus as a warning sent by Platinum might align to his previous actions. As for the likelihood of this battle to actually happen, I think it is upwards of 30%. Platinum teasing this legendary figure has to mean something. Now, as for an alternative theory, we know that dragons like to sleep a lot, and sea dragons would sleep under the sea. And Dragonlords are not exactly friendly towards players, as Platinum's actions and of course that of Cure Alim in the bonus volumes had shown. So Riget could just be sent to another Dragonlord that had managed to take over a guild base, or at least build a very Cthulhu-inspired nest to fight another player, or their NPCs. But given all of the references to Lovecraft that had been made in Overlord, I judge the likelihood that this is actually the case, and that the massive Cthulhu reference was just a hint at another Dragonlord as extremely low. As for the girl's identity, it could be a player or an NPC sleeping in her own guild base. As for the girl's identity, it could be a player or an NPC sleeping in her own guild base. Maybe it's like a reverse harem, with the girl attended by fishmen, and by attended I mean, so given the confidence Platinum has that she would fight an extremely powerful being, if she's asked. I think we can assume that Platinum is indeed allied with Cthulhu, and that she might be a part of the greater response to Einsulgon's Sorcerer Kingdom. Platinum would take on Eins again, who himself said that he wanted to lose again against Platinum in order to figure him out totally, while his armor might hold off Albedo, or the other way around. Great Cthulhu then could fight against Shalltear, but, and here's something I really didn't consider during my last video, Shalltear was, let's call it blessed, with various interests by Pero Roncino, and Great Cthulhu is essentially the most iconic tentacle monster the world has ever seen. And as mentioned in my last video about them, crossbreeding between deep ones and human females is a thing. So maybe, and I know this sounds odd even from Overlord, Cthulhu and Shalltear could become a couple in the future, thus flipping one of Platinum's greatest allies, and turning her into one of his greatest enemies. Alternatively, if all of this occurs after the Slain Theocracy's arc has concluded, Shalltear could use Downfall of Castle and Country, the very world item she had been mind-controlled with, in order to mind-control Cthulhu, and by extent, every ally of her, possibly even the entire guild base. And in case that the girl is a player, or at least the leading NPCs of it, then it is very, very likely that she will rather side with Einsulgon, who in the grand scheme of things embodies Azathoth, the blind idiot god, and the so-called demon Sultan in the Lovecraftian mythology, rather than with Overlord's equivalent to Bahamut, thus catching Platinum off guard, who might at this point see himself forced to use his real body in an all-out battle with Eins or Shalltear, who represents Tiamat in Overlord, Bahamut's evil sister, in order to stop the Sorcerer Kingdom, which then of course would lead to his downfall. So one way or another, I'm expecting really awesome fights during the last 3 volumes. And with that said, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Bad Guy Yee, Ben C, Chrissy, Sia, Death is Mercy, Dystopia the Second, Feral Shivan, Guy with That Hat, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, Kratos, Chromius, Legendarius, Lelouch wie Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Mr. Shoes, Michael R, Michael Y, O'Kill, Paddy Panton, Primus 11, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Texas Deer, The Orc War Boss, Rocket Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video. Over and out.